So, why did we make a DayZ video? What is that game? Isn't it like a mod? Yeah, well, it's a mod, but it's also just a really amazing zombie video game and zombie world and universe. Most zombie like TV shows and movies, they focus a lot on simply these zombies trying to come and get you and coming after you. But like in DayZ, there's a very interesting turn, which we decided to focus on for the video, which is the fact that in the zombie apocalypse, slow zombies aren't a big deal. You just shoot them when they're running at you. They're stupid. What you really have to worry about is the other people and survivors out there who possibly are more well equipped for the apocalypse than you are.
Played a lot of DayZ throughout the summer when the mod came out, and stopped kind of around the fall so we wouldn't burn ourselves out before the standalone came out.
Yep.
Oddly enough, a lot of the stuff we released, everybody says, hey, this looks a lot like DayZ. It's like our inherent style naturally lines up with that of DayZ, and Minnesota, especially in the fall, looks a lot like the countryside. In fact, we have a wide shot of the city where you see a factory and a power plant and a grain elevator, all in the same shot.
All natty.
There's no effects there. It's like,
Yeah.
that's just it's downtown St. Paul next to the river. I'm from Stillwater, Sam's from Stillwater, Brandon's from Stillwater, and Henry, the guy who runs Minute Physics, not quite from Stillwater, but he's from like 15 minutes away. He was actually out for the first day of the shoot, helping out. It's really strange that this like small town has managed to like breed various large YouTube channels.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. That's a good
Factoid
fact.
complete.
Factoid complete. That's a really good one. Now, why is it in the snow, you ask? Because obviously the game isn't set like in that kind of landscape.
We figured that this takes place after the events of like the mod or the game, so it's a little bit longer into the post-apocalyptic setting. People have kind of figured this stuff out. Snow has fallen, and it kind of puts a twist on the environment because people have to really be prepared to live in this kind of environment.
Yeah, it's fan fiction.
And so we also went with the idea of two people that don't speak the same language, a guy who's Russian and a guy who's American. We've intentionally not given you subtitles to the Russian track.
Yeah.
So that way, if you don't know Russian, you're in the same position that the American is, and vice versa if you're Russian. It's not the zombies that are the threat, it's the other people. It's all about the personal conflicts and what kind of scenarios you're going to deal with in this like very unique setting. So for a production like this, we were home over Christmas break, we took some time off. As you guys can probably tell, our channels have been kind of quiet for the past month, and that's because every once in a while you just gotta take it easy.
Yeah, we go on vacation
and
too.
refresh your batteries. Yes, we do go on vacation once in a while. So we planned out this piece while we were home, just took the time, kind of talked about cool ideas, walked around at the various locations, planned things out, and eventually kind of got a basic storyline. And then after doing some more location scouting, kind of working out the actions, it was finally time to shoot. The video is about 9 minutes long. To shoot a 9-minute piece like this took us about 3 days. Realistically, 2 to 3 minutes a day, some action, some dialogue, and you can't really fit anything else in, especially considering we're shooting with the sun, and in Minnesota in the winter, that means you have like 20 minutes of daylight. Doing a 3-day shoot also gave us a little more time to just kind of relax and get a bunch of setups and get some cool shots and not really have to stress out about anything. In terms of the actors, we worked with Sasha, who was in Tether, as you guys might recall. I'm sure we're going to confuse a couple people with the overlap there.
Is this Tether? This is Tether.
And then his friend Paul was the other guy, the main guy. Also thanks to Ryan and Matt for coming out. They're two guys that run an airsoft channel. Yeah, we needed some guys who were totally loaded up with sweet tactical gear, and so we tweeted that out too, and they responded.
And they had the most tactical airsoft gear I think I've ever seen, actually, because
yeah, they had shotgun slings,
a shotgun, a pistol, a PDW, and then this guy has like a Masada AKM thing, which is I've never even heard of that gun. Like, what the heck? So everyone knows that action essentials are getting old. Everyone recognizes those same blood hits, Bloodburst 01 specifically, all over the place. They're even used in The Walking Dead. Check this out though. So for this one, we decided, all right, let's make some custom hits for blood that we can use that look really cool and really sweet. In order to do this, I happened to my favorite liquid simulation program, RealFlow, famously used in Potion Overdose. And started making some little bullet hits for blood. So check these out. So basically for this piece, I'm experimenting with doing like high velocity RealFlow simulations. I have no idea if it's working yet because to make liquids that are really fast traveling look right, you need to make sure like the scale of everything's correct, the frame rate you're working at is correct, but also how fast is the bullet traveling? How fast would that really be making this liquid flow? So I'm just gonna sit here for a few hours and try and figure this out. Day 2 of making CG blood. Basically, I'm starting to find that the way real blood acts has no bearing on what I'm doing here because never before in a movie have people used real blood as for squibs. So basically, I'm just trying to work with the surface tension and the the viscosity essentially, which is how how much it clumps together versus how runny it is to make a good hit. Finally got the gravity right, scene scale, and so from here on out, just gonna render it out and see if it looks good.
We came up with the idea, or strategized that we wouldn't do the full-blown zombie horde until nighttime because we wanted to light that scene with the flare, and it is actually just lit with the flare.
Yeah.
And action! And action!
Bang, bang!
Bang, bang! I had a big light on a pole, so like I could lead people around.
He was
It's
like young
"Everybody around
Gandalf
that way."
with the power of his magic, like light staff.
And Gandalf didn't like bust out any good spells in the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I know, he busted out the lens flare spell, and now look, everyone on YouTube's that's the only spell they know.
Oh, should we talk about Tether briefly? Can you mention that? Because everybody's gonna be like, what happened to Tether? So considering we shot a piece of Minnesota and there's a bunch of snow, we even have the same actor as Tether, I'm sure a bunch of people were like, why didn't you just shoot Tether? If we're going to do another part for Tether, it's going to be part of a big project. It's either going to be a film or web series or some sort of long form story. A lot like how we did Sync. We are working on it, believe it or not. It is not dead. But we're not going to say anything until we can give you guys some solid information and you know what's up. So don't worry, it's still in the works. Also, this project would not have been possible without the help from our fans and everybody else who's out in Minnesota.
Quite literally, everyone says that. Everyone says, we couldn't have done it without the fans, but literally, we literally couldn't have shot this without the fans.
Like any good zombie video, you need a lot of zombies, you need a horde.
Yeah.
And so what we did is we actually tweeted out and Facebooked out to all our followers in Minnesota, in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, to come on out and be zombies for an evening with us.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome. Hopefully we get a chance to take advantage of the fan base and everybody out there who follows us and do something like this again, whether it's in Los Angeles or Minnesota or any other place we end up. So if you guys ever think this is something that'd be cool to partake in, you should follow us on Twitter or Facebook. I promise you won't be disappointed by our quality tweets. They're so good.
But more than anything else, it was just really awesome having a chance to kind of like meet people in person and talk with them, and also simply, shoot something really cool and make something really cool together. So, and
Yeah.
it turned out well, I think.
All our friends and all our fans and everybody else who helped out in this production, it really meant a lot, so thank you very much for helping us.
Yeah.